Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I do my anabolic caramel. My protein, high protein, low sugar, low fat caramel. So I got this, this was inspired by, adapted from this recipe that when I used to do high fat keto years ago from a keto cakewalk. And essentially it's based on allulose, and that's the magic. You can't really use erythritol for this because you need to use allulose. Allulose is really, it acts like technically it's a real sugar. It's just, it acts as sugar-free for our purposes. So anyways, because it is a real sugar, it melts like normal sugar, which is what caramel is made out of, which is great. And unlike erythritol, which you can do some caramels with erythritol, but it doesn't reheat as well but this reheats fantastic. So it's great for leftovers. So I'll show you. I'll put it in a jar and then I just put it in the refrigerator. And then each time I want to use it, I warm it up in the microwave and then pour some on. And it's really great because, so basically what I did was instead of using heavy cream in the keto cakewalk, I used to use skim milk. Basically, I use this Fairlife skim milk. It's 3 ounces or 90 milliliters. Instead of butter, full fat butter, I just use like a low fat butter. And this time I'm using this Brummel and Brown. This is the new one that I like to use. This is actually the first time I'm doing it for this caramel. I used to use Smart Balance, but this is lower calorie at 45 calories per tablespoon. And that's 57 grams. I weighed that out. 160 grams of allulose, and then we'll add in a teaspoon of salt, and that's it. And then after I make the caramel, then I put a scoop of this salted caramel protein powder from Quest, which is really great. This is really important because not only does it add protein as well as some protein caramel flavored, because I'm using low fat ingredients, unlike the original recipe, which was high fat. It helps thicken it up, because it's not as thick as a high fat caramel. So this, because it's way encasing, it thickens it up, which is nice. So, and the calories are ridiculously low. It's like maybe 15. 25 calories, depending on how much you put on your, ice cream or whatever you want to have it with. So anyways, all right, I'll show you the steps. There's one more ingredient I forgot, vanilla extract. You're gonna need half a teaspoon of that. Okay, so the first step is you put your allulose over a medium-high heat. Medium saucepan. I heated the pan first here, or you can just put the allulose first and heat it. As it starts to bubble up, kind of bring use a spatula. Bring the melted kind of towards the center. Until it all gets melted. To get all melted here. Getting close. Okay, now soon, let's see how it's turning like kind of this golden brown color. Once it gets to that, which was pretty much there, we're gonna whisk in the butter. Once all the butter's melted in there, turn off the heat. And put your milk in there. Bubbles up violently. Mix it up, kind of incorporate it well. Teaspoon of salt. And then a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to turn this off because I need my hands. Okay, I just put in the half teaspoon of vanilla extract and the salt, and that's it. You can see it's very liquidy now because it's so hot. But you can see the nice caramel color that you would expect. Alright, so I have the caramel here. I'm going to pour it into this big wide measuring cup so I don't make a mess. Although, if I'm going to be honest, sometimes I just pour it straight into the jar just to be safe. Get all that goodness in there. Accounting for the calories, so I want to maximize it. Okay. That's good enough. And then I'm gonna get a jar. Zero out your scale, don't forget that. So we can weigh what we're adding here. So, look at that nice pourable caramel. Okay, I'm up to 241 grams now. Then I want a scoop of this, so 34, so 2, 35, it's 275, so. Perfect. So then so I got 275 grams, so this is important, right? You want to count for your So that way when you use the caramel, however much you pour on there, what I do is I have like my ice cream, you know, I zero out the scale, and then I pour whatever caramel I'm going to use into the ice cream and weigh that amount. So then I put the entire recipe in my food tracker app for 275 grams for the whole recipe, and then I just put however much I'm using for that serving. So here it is. It's nice and thick. It looks like not as brown after you put the protein powder in there and while it's hot, but then once you cool it, then it turns like normal, you know, kind of like the brown caramel that you see in when I post pictures. And I'll show you an end result with the Snickers ice cream that I did. That's it. See, it's pretty easy. It's not as hard as it may sound or look. This is like this is probably my favorite add-in ingredient for creamy ice creams. And one more thing, so you're supposed to let it cool at room temperature before you put it in the refrigerator. And then, yeah, so then just use it when you want. I microwave it for maybe 20-30 seconds until it gets, you know, hot and pourable onto whatever ice cream or whatever dessert I'm having, and then I refrigerate it again. And I've had it last for, you know, depending on how often I use it, you know, easily a month, and it's been, you know, really, really good always. So. Okay, so I'm gonna warm up the caramel that I made yesterday and put it in this nice chocolate caramel ice cream. So here's the caramel. I'm gonna heat it up in the microwave. There it is. I got 16. I overshot by 1 gram. Anyways, guys, this is so delicious. All right, so I'm gonna try 15 grams. I'm just gonna pour it out. 15 grams of caramel is like 20 calories. 1.7 protein, 1.1 fat. Pretty much no carbs. Oh, because I'm not counting the allulose. I mean, it's very tiny, like 0.2 or something ridiculous. Okay, that's 15. There it is. I got 16. I overshot by 1 gram. Anyways, guys, this is so delicious.